Check 1, check 2, check 3, 6:30 p.m. Collegians game starts at 7. Check 1, check 2, check 3. Welcome into Boulder Collegians baseball here from Tucson, Arizona. It is sunny, it is hot, as it has been all trip, and the Boulder Collegians are looking to go 7-0 tonight after a great 2-game trip thus far, and the Collegians continue to play very well baseball. We're going to catch up with Nico Nincy right now, who had the game-winning hit last night.
For the Collegians, had a great 2-run RBI last night to win the game 4-3 against the Tucson Kings. Nico, talk us through that at bat.
So first off, as he just stated, it was 2-3, bottom of the 8th. We need to rally. We hadn't been big with our bats all game, really. The game was closer than we expected. I come in, Addison comes in with a clutch single to get me on, even giving me my opportunity. I get to the plate. The guy starts off with a fastball painted away. I take that. That's not the pitch I'm looking for. He comes back with 3 balls later. He's still trying to feed me away. He's not trying to come in. I was simple the whole at bat. Wasn't trying to do too much. I felt like that was possibly one of our problems during the game. Some of our guys are maybe trying to get a little too big in certain instances. Try to calm down, sit back, and then I just let the moment fulfill itself.
Now batting for the Collegians is Nico Nincy, the center fielder. He'll get the first at-bat of the game against Nika Bustamante, the left-hander wearing number 47 for the Northwest Boom. Left-on-left matchup for Nincy. Had the game-winning hit last night in the 8th inning, as my partner described. First pitch is a fastball that misses inside. First pitch time here in Tucson is 6:58. On the second pitch of the at-bat, Nincy fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Nincy had a 2-run RBI. That was the game winner, and the Collegians failed to get a hit from the 2nd inning to the 8th inning last night as their offense struggled. Assistant coach Jeremy Katz brought in the pitchers from the bullpen into the dugout and told us after the game that that was one of the reasons why the Collegians won last night. Bustamante set to deal the 1-1 pitch on Nincy. That is a slider that catches the outside part of the plate. Nincy will look at his third base coach, and that is the head coach tonight, Matt Senna, rocking a new hairdo.
6:58 p.m., first pitch, 100 degrees even here in Tucson, Arizona.
The 1-2 to Nincy is a ball that misses outside, and it's 2-2.
Go, baby! Here you go, Nick!
Nincy on 2-2, the pitcher from the stretch. That's where he'll sit tonight. Comes set with his glove, then hurls, and it's a fastball high. Nincy draws the count full.
Let's go, baby!
Full count here. Nincy the leadoff man. And the Collegian top half of the first. He sprays a ball foul, and will do it again on 3-2. It's been a day of rest for the Collegians back at the hotel. Quiet day. Players had some fajitas for lunch. About 1 o'clock. Some guys spent some time at the pool. A lot of naps. Guys celebrated last night after the win, as they should. And they're trying to get back up here at 7-0 if they can. Nincy on the 3-2 pitch, sprays it into left center field. This ball's going to get down. Nincy rounding first, headed for second. The left fielder, Welsh, picks up the ball. He turns it around. Nincy headed for third. The ball cut off, and it never gets to third. Nincy starts it off with a leadoff triple. Third time this season, Patrick, the Collegians have led off with a leadoff triple.
Yeah, we've seen Addison Kosh do it from the leadoff spot. Nincy for the first time this year, moving himself up to that leadoff spot. He's done a fantastic job getting on base, one of the highest on the team. That'll bring to plate the shortstop, batting second, Addison Kosh.
Kosh on the first pitch takes a fastball on the outside. Very solid fastball from this lefty. Left on right here. The left-hander still in the stretch. That's where he sits, as I said. Nincy on third after the triple. The second pitch, and it's a foul ball. Catching tonight is Dante De Niro for the Northwest Boom. That makes up the battery with Mika Bustamante.
At first base, Sean Bracamonte. Second base, Braden Benavides. Shortstop, Tyler Porter. And the third baseman is David Diaz. From left to right in the outfield is Winston Welch, Alex Bustamante, and in right, Rafael Padilla.
The deal to Kosh. It's a slider that never broke on the outside part of the plate. And Kosh has himself in a better position here with Nincy on third. Nincy with a solid leadoff third. Nothing to note here as Bustamante throws the pitch. It's a two-seam fastball that never catches the outside. Home plate umpire tonight is Rod Allen. In the field is Ray Ndedidesis. Rod likes to go by Chief behind the plate here, so if you hear somebody yelling Chief, that's what that's about. Bustamante comes set, fires, and it's a fastball that's just a bit too high on Kosh, and that runs the count full.
Mika Bustamante at Apima Community College, a local university here in the Tucson area, dancing around the strike zone but not finding enough of the plate.
Full count, and Kosh swings through that one. It's the first out here in the top of the first.
The rest of the Collegians lineup, third hitter, number 24, second baseman Bryce Bullock batting cleanup. The catcher from Barton Community College, number 14, Brett Bonar. Hitting fifth, his teammate at Barton Community College, Brady Mitchell, number 26 in right field. Batting seventh, Mark Taylor, the DH. The eight-hitter, Gabe Gioso, the first baseman.
First pitch to Bullock. That's a fastball in there for a strike. Bullock was taking all the way.
Finishing up the Collegians lineup, batting eighth, Marcus Altman in left field. The nine-hitter, Danny David Linehan at third base. And rounding out the double leadoff spot, number 10, Andrew Meadows.
Bullock takes a curveball that bounces in the dirt and never got to the plate.
Good seeing you out.
The Boom are in white, wearing T-shirt style jerseys with silver Boom across the chest, silver numbers, white hats mostly, some with black. 1-1 pitch is inside on Bullock. They've got gray pants on tonight, a mismatch of cleats. The Collegians in their navy blue tops with gray pants and blue caps. Bullock on 2-1 from Bustamante. Curveball on the outside, swung through and missed by Bullock. Tried to take it opposite field, but was a bit too in front of it on the off-speed pitch. 2-2 now. Runner on third is Nincy, the leadoff man. There's one out here in the top of the first. Bullock swings through this one down in the dirt. Nincy stays on third, and the catcher, De Niro, throws on to first for the strikeout 2-3, and that makes 2 outs. Brett Bonar stepping to the plate. Bonar on the year. New addition to the Collegians was spectacular down at JUCO this year, Patrick.
Yeah, in Kansas, down at Barton Community College, they did a nice job. They played in-state in Colorado, in Grand Junction, and did well in the Junior College World Series. The guys have been sporting some nice hats and gear that they've purchased from that tournament.
First pitch to Bonar is a strike down the middle on the fastball. The 0-1 is a breaking ball that slides out and fouled towards the third baseman. He's going to have enough room to make the play down the line, and Diaz makes the catch and gets the boom out of the inning. So the Collegians strand a leadoff triple. We'll be back for the bottom half of the first in just a bit. Collegians strand a leadoff triple in the top half, and we're set for the bottom half of the first here in Tucson, Arizona. Joe Milano gets the rock for the Collegians to start this one off.
Behind the dish, Brett Bonar. At first base, Gabe Gioso. Second baseman, Bryce Bullock. And his double play partner is the shortstop, Addison Kosh. And at third base, Danny David Linehan. From left to right in the outfield, Marcus Altman, Nico Nincy, and in right field, Brady Mitchell.
Milano's first pitch misses low. Alec Bustamante, the leadoff hitter, playing center field for the Boom. He is the brother of the starting pitcher, Mika Bustamante. Alec on 0-1, sprays this one down the third base line. That's going to get down in front of Altman, and it'll go for a leadoff single as Altman throws it back in strongly. And the Boom counter the Collegians with a leadoff hit of their own in the first inning.
That'll bring to the plate shortstop number 2, Tyler Porter. He'll be followed up by the 3-hitter, David Diaz, the third baseman. Batting cleanup is an extra hitter, Justin Felix. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Rafael Padilla. The 6-hitter is Winston Welch. The 7th hitter is the backstop, Dante De Niro. Batting eighth, Sean Bustamante.
Milano's first pitch is a two-seam fastball that misses outside, facing the shortstop Porter, as you mentioned, Patrick. He's a left-handed hitter. Milano throwing from the right side. He's got those red stirrups up high. Sizable lead by the center fielder Bustamante off first. Milano from the stretch comes set and delivers. This one shot into center field, gonna be caught by Nico Nincy. Nice ranging play there by Nincy, and that goes for the first out of the first inning.
Rounding out the Northwest Booms lineup is the number 9 hitter, the second baseman Braden Benavides, and finally the 10 hitter DH number 23 Chris Flores.
Diaz, the third baseman who made the third out of the last inning, steps into the plate. He looks at his coach at third base for the signs, decides it's fine now as Bustamante takes his lead off first. Weird slide back in on the Milano pick, gets in safely, somewhat crawled back to the bag, didn't want to go full down in the slide. The first baseman of the Collegians, Gabe Gioso, had himself a laugh about it. Milano comes set from the right side, delivers the first pitch to Diaz. It's a curveball outside, and it's going to be picked up by Brett Bonar.
We saw Bonar in his first starting action last night. Did a real nice job blocking balls in the dirt from starter Minch Trenka all night long.
Milano with another pickoff move. Gioso with a swipe tag, but Bustamante slides back in safely.
That's definitely one of the benefits of having a left-handed first baseman. Those swipe tags can be crucial in pickoff plays.
Milano's second pitch here, and that one misses as well. It's 2-0. Milano, a local kid from Louisville, Colorado, comes set, throws a high fastball that almost pegs Diaz. He gets out of the way by arching his head back, and it's 3-0 with a runner on first with one out. Milano with a high kick here, and that will be a ball outside. The third hitter is on base now, leaving the cleanup man Felix, who's extra hitting tonight, with two men on and one out here in the bottom of the first. The one issue the Collegians have had this season is early game traffic. It seems like their pitchers earlier on in the game have had struggles, and the pitching has been stronger the deeper the Collegians go into the game.
In his first start last Thursday, Milano did very nicely in his 4 innings of work, giving up 4 hits, but not walking a batter. And here we see early on him having a hard time trying to control his pitches.
Milano comes set, runners on first and second, one out, scoreless game in the first. A curveball starts off the extra hitter, Felix. He thought twice about that because it was juicy right down the middle. He just wasn't expecting a curveball on the first pitch. Shakes his head, shakes himself off, then steps back into the box. Taps the plate twice, gets his check swing. Milano comes set. With his glove above his head, checks the runner on second, Bustamante, then delivers the pitch. It's a slider that's just outside, and it's 1-1 rather. Another sign check from Felix. And now Milano getting his sign from the catcher Bonar. He goes through his sequence. Bonar comes up in his crouch. Milano delivers a fastball and swung through by Felix, who was trying to hit that one to Phoenix. Felix looks at his bat, shakes himself off, is ready for the 1-2 pitch. With runners on and a scoreless game here in the first, Boom can do damage to start the game off. Milano, the starter, comes set. Checks the runner on second, Bustamante. Checks again, checks the third time, then delivers the pitch. It's a curveball that gets Felix swinging, and that's the second out of the inning. A big one by Joe Milano.
Milano features a fantastic spike curve that he throws by curling underneath that pointer finger knuckle and making a lot of movement with that middle finger. It goes from 12 to 6, and you saw that on display there in the strikeout against the extra hitter Felix.
2 outs now with 2 runners on here in the first. Shades of pink and orange take hold of the sky as Milano misses on the first pitch to Palladia, the right fielder. Palladia with 1 foot in front of the other in the batter's box. An open stance from the left side. He looks at a pitch, and that one's a ball as well. It's 2-0. Beautiful skies here in Tucson, Arizona. Maybe the best asset of Tucson, Arizona is how pretty the skies get here about this time of night. It starts to cool off just a bit from 100 to 95, and the wind blows a bit more as well. The 2-0 pitch, that's a fastball at the knees by Milano, and he has himself a 2-1 count. The runners are on first and second still. Scoreless game in the first. Milano comes set. He's in a rhythm now. Throws a pitch. It's high on Palladia.
Padilla get himself in a hitter's count here, 3-1, as Milano is trying to get that four-seam fastball on the corner.
Padilla sprays the 3-1 pitch over the shortstop Kosh. The runner on third gets the stop sign, and the bases are loaded now with 2 outs. A big stop there of the center fielder Bustamante, who was rounding third. And that is interesting because Marcus Altman is not the regular left fielder for the Collegians. Last night, Dave Neal played left field and made quite the throw on a put out to third base. Winston Welsh, the left fielder, a bigger player on the right side, stocky with stirrups about 5 inches high. Joe Milano now in the windup. High kick, 2-seam fastball, strike 1. Milano's got a nice changeup as well. Probably won't see it against a righty. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Milano gets his sign, digs into his glove, then kicks. Strike 2. Quickly 0-2.
That inside four-seam fastball from Milano, something you'll see from a lot of Collegians pitchers, not afraid to go inside on the batter. They'll hit their fair share of hitters, but they are not afraid to come inside in order to gain the outside portion of the plate.
A pitch away, Milano gets out of the inning. A leadoff single worked around by the Collegians as they answer back the boom, working around a leadoff triple here in the first. Scoreless after 1. We'll pick it up in the second right here on the Boulder Collegians YouTube channel.
Let's go, Coach.
Back here at Keno Sports Complex, we're on Field 4 tonight. That's the change of view. Not at the main field, which used to host the White Sox in spring training. Patrick, we've got some games going on around us as well.
Absolutely. The Sunbelt College League has 3 other games going on with 6 different teams. Most of those teams started with their first game last night.
Mitchell takes a 2-seam fastball outside for a ball. And the right fielder for the Collegians trying to lead off with another hit. That's all we've seen thus far in this game into the top half of the second. Mitchell, the second pitch is a 2-seam fastball. This time it did indeed catch the outside. And Nika Bustamante on 1-1 leans back over his waist, gets his sign, comes set, breathes once, and then delivers. It's a 2-seam fastball or a changeup that was badly misthrown, and Bustamante reaches back at his own chest, telling the catcher that it was his fault.
Bustamante pitching from the stretch, even though he's a starting pitcher, an approach we see a lot more frequently from pitchers in the past decade or so.
Bustamante's pitch there, that misses as well, and it's 3-1 on Mitchell. Big opportunity for Brady Mitchell out of Barton Community College, Bustamonte's pitch. That one catches the inside of the strike zone. Another two-seam fastball. That seems to be Bustamonte's best pitch this evening. Brady Mitchell ready on 3-2. Bustamonte kicks, and it's a fastball that never got back down to the level that it would be acceptable to be called a strike. And Rod Allen deems it a ball, and Mitchell is on with a leadoff walk.
That'll bring to the plate the DH number 9, Mark Taylor. In the 2 games that we've seen here down in Tucson, he has been one of the more electric players. He's been 3 for 7 in those 2 games with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Or 2 RBI.
Mark on the right side takes a fastball inside. That's a ball. Mark from Chico, California. As you've mentioned, Patrick, he has been very good down here. One of the quieter players even on this road trip. I think I've only heard him talk maybe 5 times the entire road trip.
Last night I saw him palling around with the starting pitcher, Joe Milana. They seem to have a lot in common. A lot of similarities, but as you mentioned, Mark is one of the quieter guys amongst the group.
Mitchell off first. Bustamonte with a pitch. It's a two-seam fastball. Back pick by De Niro, and Mitchell slides back safely head first.
We didn't get a chance to hear all of the Nico Nincy interview just yet, but one thing he talked about was the team chemistry. Whether you're a talkative guy, whether you're outlandish, doesn't matter. This team has been clicking and gelling, and they all want to win for each other.
Bustamonte's pitch on 2-0 is a curveball in the dirt, and now it's 3-0, 4 straight balls delivered by Bustamonte. Matt Senna, the head coach at third base, he's got the stopwatch yelling out at his players down there. Players in the dugout all standing here on the 3-0 pitch to Mark Taylor. Bustamonte fires. It's a fastball that is a ball, and Mark Taylor has himself a walk, and back-to-back walks by Bustamonte start off the Collegians' second.
Last night we saw this current hitter, Gabe Gioso, strike out 3 times. I caught up with him after the game, and we talked about the challenges with being a designated hitter and how hard that is to not be in the game, constantly running out there to play defense, in on every pitch, and that's just a spot that he finds himself struggling in a bit.
Gioso back at first tonight. He's OPSing 1,400 for the Collegians through the first few games. Has maybe been their best hitter. As you said, rough night last night. Comes up with 2 men on here with no outs in the second, and he swings through a first pitch fastball from the starter, and he is back in the batter's box. Maybe an opportunity to bunt if you had yourself a normal 7-hitter right now, but because of Gioso's prowess thus far this season, you'll probably expect him to drive it opposite field. Bustamonte sets and delivers. It's a fastball that bounces in front of the plate. Good block by De Niro, and it stops the ball.
Similar layout on this field 4 tonight as we saw in the Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium. 340 down the line and 403 to straightaway center field.
Benavides, the second baseman, playing right behind the pitcher, then steps back to second base. The pitch to Gabe Gioso swung through once again, and it's 1-2. Collegians need to do the small things, having trouble moving runners up and scoring runners in scoring position. Last night, despite not having hits between the second and 8th inning, they did have lots of base runners with walks and errors, and they just did not get that runner home. The 1-2 to Gioso, the first baseman. It's a curveball or a changeup, and it's swung through and missed by Gioso for strike 3.
Marcus Altman got the game off, yesterday's game off as he was somewhat under the weather. He does get to start in left field tonight after the first game in Tucson where he went 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. With runners on first and second, he has an opportunity to drive in some more here tonight.
Altman with 5 RBI on the year. David Neal leads the team with 10, and this one's skied behind the second baseman, Benavides, who roams back and makes the catch on the pop-up, and that's the second out of the inning, and once again the Collegians are at risk of stranding a leadoff runner that gets into scoring position with no outs. Danny David Linehan strides in. The third baseman has been one of the best defenders for the Collegians through the first several games that we've seen. Danny David, steady presence at the plate here and just needs to do a little thing. Shoot a ball through the right side. Big hole there between Benavides and Bracamonte, the first baseman, with Benavides having to hold on the runner at second, Brady Mitchell. He reached via walk to start the inning. There are 2 men on, 2 outs. Scoreless game here in the top of the second in Tucson, Arizona. Sun just set. The first pitch to Danny David Linehan. It's an off-speed pitch that finds the zone, and it's strike one.
I think the one thing that we're seeing here with the Collegians is that those early blowouts have not really prepared them for some small ball here. Some close games is what they've been facing so far here in Arizona, and now's the time for them to work on those opportunities.
The 0-1 to Danny David Linehan, and he sits through that one, and it's called a ball. Danny David in a big spot here with the 2 runners in scoring position on. 1-1 pitch comes set and delivers. That one is a curveball that misses low, and it's 2-1. Bustamante from the left side comes set. Runners on first and second. Linehan at the plate, cranks this one towards the second baseman, gets through Benavides and into right field. The throw coming in, Mitchell gets there to the plate. He is safe, 1 run scores, and the out at third base is recorded on the solid play by De Niro, finding the runner Taylor trying to advance to third. So the Collegians score 1 on the RBI single by Danny David Linehan, but a good defensive play by the Boom get them out of the inning. It's 1-0 Collegians after the top of the second. That was a 9-5. 9-2-5 was cut off. Oh. Back for the bottom half of the second inning here in Tucson, Arizona. The Collegians have just taken a 1-0 lead on a Danny David Linehan RBI single. Now batting for the Northwest Boom of Tucson, Arizona is De Niro, the catcher. First pitch by Milano is popped up by De Niro. The shortstop Kosh ranging over there, called off by Bullock, and Kosh will say no, and he'll come down with the catch anyway. Those two want every single ball, and that's kind of what you want in your middle infielders.
We saw them switch positions. Bullock went over to short and Kosh went over to second base in the first game against the Browns, but since then it's been Bullock at the Keystone and Kosh at shortstop.
Milano with a sweet two-seam fastball on the outside with a big smile after the pitch, perfectly executed, hits Bonar's spot. Right back on it on the second pitch, and it's a curveball in the dirt, blocked by Bonar, and it's now 1-1.
Getting ahead early has been the secret sauce for the Collegians.
Milano's 1-1 is a breaking ball high. May have touched the strike zone, but don't reward that pitch. I like the call. Not Milano's spot. The 2-1, Milano throws this one in the dirt as well, and it's now 3-1. Milano tapping his chest. Indeed, it was his fault. I don't know whose fault else it would have been for the poor pitch. Milano on 3-1. This one a fastball cranked into left field. Under it is Altman going back, and that one is gone. A home run for Bracamonte, the first baseman of the Boom. It was a 3-1 count. Altman thought he had a read on it, kept going back, looked like he may get it, but then he ran out of real estate, and the ball ended up over the fence. Bracamonte ties it at 1 here in the second as the Boom answer the Collegians.
After that first pitch strike, Milano had a difficult time finding the strike zone, and after 3 straight balls, you see Bracamonte going deep off of the right-hander.
Milano starts with a two-seam fastball here. This one sprayed just foul by Benavides, the second baseman. What did you say, Patrick, to start that at-bat by Milano? What was the key for Joe Milano?
Getting the first pitch strike, and yet
he still got behind.
That's right. That's definitely been the story of the competition here for the Collegians, for their opponents, and it's just one of those basic common concepts of baseball to get ahead and stay ahead.
Second pitch from Milano. A check swing couldn't hold by Benavides, and it's now 0-2. Milano on 0-2. What will he go to here? It's a curveball that's just a bit too high, and Bonar could not frame it. Benavides lives to see another day. 10 hitters for each lineup tonight. This one sprayed foul. Bonar makes a nice play there, saving the umpire on the ricochet off the foul ball from the fence. Milano again on 1-2. This one hits Benavides. It was a curveball that never got back to the plate, hit Benavides flush on the left shoulder, appears to be just all right.
Milano was quite sore after his start last 30, where he threw 4 innings, the most he had thrown in quite some time. Didn't get many opportunities this spring at Dodge City Community College. Manager Matt Senna and first base coach Jeremy Katz have him slated for just about 2 innings tonight.
First pitch of this at-bat by Flores is skied foul territory. Nobody called for the ball. Nobody could find it down there in that triangle, and it'll go for strike 1 against the extra hitter, or DH, Flores. What's the difference between an extra hitter and a DH when they're both in the ball game? I've not figured it out yet.
Well, I think if you remove that DH, that removes that protection from the pitcher. So in that extra hitter spot, you can actually make some substitutions in order to get some guys some different at-bats. You're not going to see that tonight because their cleanup hitter is that extra hitter. So not sure if that was a miscalculation by manager Ruben Lerma.
First pitch, fake bunt, throw to second by Bonar, and the runner is safe. Benavides at second. Bonar thought he may have got him. You heard the Collegians dugout, who we have mic'd up tonight, with some enthusiasm for that throw by Bonar down to second base. Milano's second pitch is a ball.
Come on, Joe, let's go. What's the count, sir? 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for Milano. Flores waves his bat a couple times. He's got a green and red grip on his bat, Christmas colors on an ash-colored bat. Milano comes set from the right side, throws a breaking ball. It was a changeup, and it gets Flores swinging. That's the second out here in the second inning.
Third strikeout on the evening for Milano against one walk. That'll bring the leadoff hitter, number 12 center fielder Alex Bustamante, to the plate.
Bustamante led off the game with a single. Milano with a chance to work around this hit by pitch. He surrendered.
My boy, way to throw it, that baby.
Milano threw a curveball, but time was called before the first pitch, and will redo the first pitch of this at bat to Bustamante. Milano comes set, checks the runner, delivers quickly. It's a two-seam fastball that catches the outside, and Milano pumped it up there and found a bit extra on his fastball.
First pitch to Flores, and in the last at-bat was a strike. He got the K. Starts off Bustamante with a strike again.
Second strike in a row right there from Milano. A beauty of a curveball that hung up maybe just a bit higher than he had wanted, but gets Bustamante swinging nonetheless. Now another chance to get out of the inning with the score tied at 1 after the home run here in the bottom half. Milano comes set, fires. It's a two-seam fastball that kicks right in front of us. I even caught a bit of dirt there. Don't worry, Patrick, I am okay. As are the Collegians, who Bonar jumped quickly on that ball, and the runner stayed on second.
Yeah, one of these backfields here, and what's called the quad. There's a very short backstop. I wager to say that it's no more than 7 feet from the catcher, Brett Bonar, to the backstop. And
we are 8 feet from Brett Bonar, let's put it that way.
That is correct.
Milano with a curveball. Strike 3 looking on Bustamante. Joe Milano with a sick curveball for his 5th strikeout of the day, and it's tied at 1-1 as we head to the third.
Not done. Not done. Hey, a lot of confidence up there, too.
Good, Jake. Back for the top of the third, score tied at 1 apiece. Andrew Meadows will lead off here against the pitcher, Nika Bustamante, getting set for his third inning of work. Meadows, who's a rangy outfielder, hasn't been playing much in the outfield here in Arizona.
Yeah, one of the reasons for that is for some arm soreness he's been having.
First pitch by Bustamante is a pitch that misses high, and Meadows strides back in.
After senior year, Meadows had Tommy John surgery, so he stepped away from pitching and is strictly a center or outfielder only.
This pitch by Bustamante misses outside, and the Collegians find themselves in a favorable count once more. Collegians have had the leadoff man on in both the first and second innings. Third pitch of this at-bat is a two-seam fastball that runs just a bit outside. That was the Greg Maddox spot, but Nico Bustamante is not Greg Maddox. 3-0. Bustamante fires. This a fastball outside, and Meadows makes it 3 straight leadoff hits or walks for the Collegians as they get another leadoff base runner.
Meadows has been very productive in his at-bats. We've seen him hit the ball to the opposite way to get a runner from second to third, and last night he had what was at the time a key sacrifice bunt to move over Danny David Linehan in the third inning.
1-1 the score here in Tucson, Arizona. Both runs coming in the second inning. One a home run, the other an RBI single from the Collegians' Danny David Linehan. This is a curveball that starts off to Nico Nincy, who had the game-winning hit last night. In his first at-bat today, he had a triple. Nico celebrated last night. He had a very good time. Facing a lefty here, slides back in safely, Meadows. I'm rooming with Nico, and
maybe you should leave it at that?
No, I was going to say it's fun rooming with Nico. He's a great guy. I was caught up because Senna, the head coach of the Collegians, is having an argument with the second base umpire about a potential block. But yeah, no, Nico's a great guy, and I'm happy I'm rooming with him because he's having a lot of fun down here in Tucson, and as soon as we get away from the baseball field, I'm all for fun. As long as you come to play. Meadows takes off for second. Pitch in the dirt, and the Collegians have themselves a stolen base from Meadows.
One of the reasons why Meadows has been slotted into that 10 spot in the order as the DH is because of his speed, or as his extra hitter, I should say, is because of his speed. Manager Matt Senna wants there to be that double leadoff hitter mentality, so when the top of his lineup comes up, there's an already speedy runner on the bases.
1-1 to Nincy. He slaps this one through the hole between shortstop and third. Meadows is going to get the stop sign, and Nincy will stop it first. Back pick over to Nincy. He slides back safely, and it's first and third for the Collegians with no outs in the third inning.
Nico Nincy has a very simple approach. It's keep it simple. Last night, he mentioned that perhaps some of the Collegians batters were trying to do a little bit too much at the plate. That's why they went several innings without a hit, let alone a base runner. And there you see him keeping it simple, slapping the ball the opposite way, and advancing Meadows over to third base.
Addison Kosh, the shortstop, steps in with the runners on first and third. Tied game here in the third at 1 apiece. Nika Bustamante, the starter for the Boom, comes set on the left side, throws an off-speed pitch. This one looks like it's going to get foul down the line. A sliding play there by the right fielder, Padilla, and he can't come up with it. I lost it.
We mentioned this there being a very short backstop here at field 4. I would venture to guess that Nico Nincy is still skilled enough to get himself down to second base, if a ball hits the dirt.
This one sprayed to the first baseman. He's going to come home with it. Dropped ball by De Niro, and Meadows is in safely. Meadows was going on contact. Bracamonte at first thought he had a shot. His throw was up the first base line. De Niro tried to catch the ball and tag all in one motion, but the speedy Meadows got in there and forced De Niro to drop the ball.
And somehow Nico Nincy found his way over to third base. Great heads-up play by the veteran center fielder.
And that goes as a fielder's choice RBI for Kosh. It's 2-1 Collegians here in the third. Now batting is the second baseman, Bryce Bullock, out of Las Vegas, Nevada. First pitch going from Kosh. Bullock to short. The shortstop will throw it across the diamond and get Bullock out. He's got an RBI ground out on the play by Tyler Porter, the shortstop.
Excellent call by manager Matt Senna to send the runner on first base, Kosh. That ended up taking off the double play, allowing the runner at third, Nico Nincy, to score.
We'll have to ask after the game, but that must have been a hit and run. I guess we could ask in between innings with how close we are tonight. Probably shouldn't. 2 outs now. Now stepping in the catcher, Brett Bonar. Bonar's got a runner on second. Keep calling him by his nickname here, which is very similar to his last name.
That would be an error. Is that correct?
Yes.
To make a boner.
And the runner is taking off from third. In there standing up is Addison Kosh, who had the huge jump off the lefty, and they found his blind spot out there at second base.
Dante Dinero didn't even have an opportunity to throw down to Diaz at third base, as Kosh had that one stolen all the way. He was halfway to third before the pitch was even released.
Bonar facing the starter. Watches a pitch in the dirt. And with a runner on third, a pitch maybe that gets away from Dinero probably won't be capitalized on by Kosh with the short backstop in the middle of the lineup up. Bonar fouls this off his leg, and this play is called dead immediately. One and two the count to Bonar.
I like what Bonar was doing there, trying to slap the ball to the right side in order to advance the runner Kosh. Last night we saw the exact opposite in one of the at-bats where the runner was cut down at home plate. Was cut down at third base because of a ground ball hit to the shortstop. Let's see if Bonar can take it to the right side again.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bonar on the 2-strike count as Danny David Linehan seems to have found the microphone on the clubhouse wall.
It's a good Macho Man impersonation.
He's going back to the microphone.
Bonar steps in.
Okay, Danny David.
Plate.
Left on left here. Bonar will take a ball that's the bottom part of the plate, and it seems like the pitcher, Bustamante, has lost the strike zone.
Between Linehan jumping on the microphone there by the dugout and a few people coming up to us since we're positioned here at the backstop immediately behind home plate, we've had a few distractions and we're doing our best to make sure to call the action here for you live on the Boulder Collegians YouTube channel.
We've got Joe Milano's parents sitting behind us, some fans that have come out for the Collegians game as well. The umpire has asked us to count when he's lost it because we both told him that we are umpires, perhaps our mistake. He does trust us, which is nice though. We do have the Collegians hat on tonight because, well, we do work for the team. I gotta watch that mic in the dugout to make sure the guys don't have some more fun with it. At least they keep it PG.
Dinero finds himself back behind home plate after talking with his manager, Ruben Lerma. They went to speak with Bustamante for a few moments, and in steps the right fielder, number 26, Brady Mitchell.
Brady Mitchell on first and third with 2 outs here in the third inning. Collegians leading 2-1. First pitch to Mitchell is high from Bustamante.
In his first start last night, Mitchell went 1 for 3 and reached base on an error.
Bustamante on 1-0 from the left side, a two-seam fastball that catches the outside corner of the strike zone. Great pitch. Brady Mitchell was never going to swing at that with no strikes on him. Mitchell asking Senna to run through the signs one more time, and Mitchell laughs at whatever sign Matt Senna gave him. 1-1 from Bustamante to Mitchell. Pickoff move to first. Bonar gets back in there, standing up. Senna telling Brady Mitchell to have some fun, as if Brady Mitchell isn't already having fun. He, of course, is having fun. 1-1 from Bustamante to Mitchell. The runner going Bonar. It's a changeup on the outside of the plate. Hoisted into center field by Dinero on the throw. Bonar trying to move up to third. Slides in safely at third base. 1 run scores. That is Kosh from third base. And Bonar moves from first to third.
As you mentioned, Bonar was going on the pitch, and the throw down to second base from the catcher, Dinero, got over the second baseman, Braden Benavina's head, allowing Bonar to slide in safely from third. Should be noted that center fielder Alex Bustamante fired a cannon out from center field and almost cut down Bonar.
The 2-1 from Bustamante. Mitchell takes, and it's now 3-1. Bonar at third base. Collegians leading 3-1. Score that last play, a stolen base for Bonar and an E2, allowing him to advance to third and the runner to come home. Mitchell sprays this one into left center. That gets down. Bonar's coming to the plate. Mitchell headed towards second. He will stop there with an RBI double as the Collegians go ahead 4-1.
A wonderful sequence of events here for the Collegians as you see a catcher, a cleanup hitting catcher, steal second base and his teammate drive him in with a double, something we probably saw a lot in Kansas if you were headed out to a Barton Community College game.
Bustamante getting a visit from his catcher De Niro, and with the Collegians ahead 4-1, they bring up Taylor to the plate. Mark Taylor has a run out at second base, and Brady Mitchell with one out here if they can get it. There is a Northwest Boom player warming up in the bullpen down the left field line. The way this field is lined up, though, it's off campus, so to speak, so we can't really see who it is.
Manager Ruben Lerma mentioned before game that his son, Geraldo Lerma, would have an opportunity to pitch, as well as Winston Welch, the left fielder, and the extra hitter, Chris Flores.
And the manager took as much time as possible to get somebody up in that bullpen, and it appears Bustamante is coming out. So the manager will take the ball from Bustamante. We'll have a pitching change when we come back. Brady Mitchell's RBI double knocks him out of the game.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because I missed Meadows. You're all right. Hey, Senna. Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Not good. Not good. All gas, no brakes. We'll have some fun, huh?
Back here in the top of the third, I misspoke. It's 5-1. This extra hitter has been throwing me off since we have started this season here at Boulder Collegians baseball. New pitcher now is the former DH Chris Flores after 2 1/3 from Nika Bustamante.
We had mentioned what's the difference between an extra hitter and a DH, and we see exactly the difference here. As the umpire said, the DH is now dead, so should Flores come out of the game, you will have to see the Northwest Boom's pitcher come to the plate if that spot in the order comes up.
Now batting is Mark Taylor after the double, RBI double from Brady Mitchell, knocked out Bustamante at 5-1. Gabe Gioso, the first baseman, on deck. Collegians ahead here in the top of the third. Flores' first pitch of the night is a ball that misses low.
Brady Mitchell on second base. 1 out here in the top of the third.
Flores comes set on the right side, checks the runner Mitchell, then delivers. It's a two-seam fastball sprayed down the right field line. That's fair. Taylor's going towards second. Mitchell comes in to the plate, and Taylor's got himself an RBI double. A misplay out in right now, and Taylor advances to third. Patrick, I couldn't see it because I'm blocked by the post. What happened out there in right field? I think Padilla may have just misplayed that ball, picking it up, and it allowed Taylor to get that extra base.
That's exactly right. He came over to the right field line, bent over to pick it up, and just did not have a good grip on it and bobbled it around for a moment there in his hands. When Taylor looked back, he had to start back up from where he was and motor down to third base.
Gioso comes in. Flores now in the windup with the runner on third base. The first pitch is a two-seam fastball that misses above the belt. And Gioso looks at Senna. The big first baseman comes back in, taps his bat against the plate, then waves it a few times. Flores gets his sign. A little swaggy move into the windup, and he gets a two-seam fastball to go for him on the outer half. Gioso batting .462 for the Collegians, slugging .846 through their first 4 games. Gioso the righty, watches a fastball on the outside that misses.
Mika Bracamonte's night is done. He's done 2 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs. He walked 3 and struck out only 2.
This pitch misses as well from Flores, and he wants a new ball or to talk to the catcher, De Niro. I have him as allowing 6 runs, Patrick. 6-1, and that run was him, the Mitchell.
Correct. That is correct. Flores came in with the inherited runner Mitchell on second base, and we did just see him score on the RBI double from the DH, Mark Taylor.
3-1 from Flores, and his second batter of the evening, facing Gabe Gioso. Collegians ahead 6-1 here in Tucson, Arizona, and Gioso takes a ball on the inside and will go for a walk. Collegians drawing another walk. They continue to do so. I believe that's their 4th walk, 5th walk, make that of the evening already. Marcus Altman, the left fielder now, with runners on first and third and 1 out here in the third. Collegians have started to blow it open this inning with the 5-run third. Altman could really blow it open, though, with the base hit here. He takes a first pitch strike, a fastball on the outside from Flores. Altman didn't step out of the batter's box. He's got New Balance cleats on today. He has batting gloves on as well, and he'll watch a second pitch fastball. That one pretty much was hearted by Flores. Altman may want that one back, steps out of the box, will spit and readjust his gloves, and it's 0-2 on him now. Gioso looks for the sign over at Senna at third base. Gioso at first gets his lead. Taylor a bit more liberal with his lead down the third base side. The 0-2 pitch, that's a fastball that misses outside.
Should be noted that on 9 at-bats so far this season, the left fielder Altman has yet to strike out, one of the few of the Collegians that have yet to been cut down on strikes.
Well, a double play may be better than a ground ball here, because a ground ball could potentially get the boom out of the inning. Flores comes set. The 1-2 pitch to Altman. And that's a curveball, line down the third base line. Backhand stop by the third baseman. Play over to second base by Benavides, who gets the out, and it's a fielder's choice.
Nice play by the third baseman there.
And Senna is out there arguing, and Benavides he thought was off the bag.
Well, there was only 1 out there at that moment. Is that correct? There was only 1 out, and nice play by the third baseman, Diaz. threw the ball into second base, and Gioso did not really make an effort to slide, but he didn't have to. He scooted out of the way of the second baseman, who really just jumped to the side and didn't even bother throwing. So the base umpire, Ray Encinas, called out Gioso for obstruction, making interference, making it a double play. Senna came over to the second base umpire Encinas to ask him if to review or talk with a partner. Didn't say too much, but it was enough for Encinas to eject Boulder Collegians manager Matt Senna.
So score that a double play there because there was an interference called. I just asked Brett Bonar, the catcher for the Collegians, and not only was Benavides questionably on or off the bag at second base, but he said the runner interfered as Gioso crossed second. So the Collegians get 3 outs there on that inning, and Joe Milano back to the hill.
Last night we saw Senna a little bit fiery after a questionable call at third base, and tonight the base umpire Ray Encinas has an even shorter leash for the Collegians manager.
So that's 5 runs on 3 hits in the top half of the third for the Collegians. They lead 6-1, and assistant coach Jeremy Katz will take over in the dugout, I do believe. Matt Jensen, the general manager, is in the stands. He may head into the dugout, although his little girl is here too, so maybe we'll see little Matt Jensen's girl as a base coach tonight. Still some confusion down by that first base dugout as to what is going on.
Stepping into the box, shortstop number 2, Tyler Porter. Milano rocks and fires. A strike 1 on the outside corner. The 4-seam fastball catching a piece of black.
Porter, the shortstop. Milano, the right-handed starter. This one laced into right center. It'll go for a base hit, a leadoff base hit for Tyler Porter. And again, another leadoff base runner. That's all we've seen in this game, except for the bottom of the second when the Boom failed to do it. But in 5 of the 6 frames thus far, the leadoff base runner has reached. Diaz, the third baseman now. And this one's laced into the hole at short. Altman comes pick and makes a backhanded stop across the diamond to Gioso on the throw. That looked like it was definitely getting into the hole. And what a play there by Kosh.
We've seen him do that a few times this season with the backhand firing over to first base. One of the reasons why you see him as the Collegians starting shortstop.
Kosh with a great play there. Like I said, it looked like it was getting into the left fielder, Altman. Instead, Kosh cut it off out of nowhere, made the backhanded stop, and threw it across the diamond. Runner Porter did move up. This one laced to third base. Danny David Linehan makes the stop, and the Collegians have back-to-back outs on back-to-back pitches here. And all of a sudden, there are 2 outs, and Tyler Porter is still at second.
Well, we weren't sure if Milano was going to go 2 or 3 innings tonight. After this quick third, I'm not sure if now manager, first base coach, and strength and conditioning coach Jeremy Katz will actually let Milano throw a 4th inning. We'll just have to wait and see.
Milano checks the runner at second, then ready to throw his pitch from the set position here. The first pitch is a strike, an off-speed pitch. Bonar comes out. I think he was crossed up.
Bonar was set up on the outside portion of the plate on the left-handed hitting Padilla. And there you saw the spiked curveball from the Dodge City Community College right-hander.
Padilla, the right fielder, in there right now for this at-bat. It could be a clutch one. The Boom need to start chipping away here if they want a shot at coming back in this game. Second pitch misses, and it's 1-1. 1-1. Milano comes set. This time has not checked the runner. Finally does so a second time. The batter wanted time, was not granted, swung through that pitch, and it's 1-2. Padilla threw up a late stop sign to the home plate umpire, Rod Allen. It was not granted, and it's 1-2. Milano with a nice pitch. Milano now with a chance to get out of his inning, seeking his 6th strikeout. Fastball high and misses. Milano looking for his 5th strikeout here. Another fastball that misses high, waited on by Padilla, and the count now runs full. We'll see if Porter takes off from second base. There's no need to, but he could. Porter with a big lead nonetheless with 2 outs. This one sprayed over to the second baseman. High chopper to Bullock, mishandled. The runner comes around third. Porter, he will score, and Padilla is in safely at first base. A tough play for Bryce Bullock. That had a high chop out in front of home plate, and then a second high chop bounced off his hip and scored that in E4 for Padilla, reaching base, which scored Porter from second. Brings up Winston Welsh, the left fielder. He struck out to end the first. The first pitch of this at bat is a breaking ball that was a bit too high on Winston Welsh. And Padilla at first is getting his sign. Milano gets his sign in from Bonar. Padilla with a bigger lead this time as it's skied into right field. Circling under it is Brady Mitchell, and he'll reach up and grab the ball. That ends the 3rd inning here in Tucson, Arizona. Collegians leading 6-2. Danny David Linehan to lead off the top of the 4th. Collegians leading 6-2 in Tucson, Arizona. Jake Shapiro alongside my partner, Patrick Lyons in Tucson, traveling with the Collegians, who are finishing up a 3-game road trip in the desert. The final game of this is tonight, and the Collegians travel back to Boulder tomorrow night from Phoenix, where they'll play a doubleheader on both Friday and Saturday. No, did I get that right? They're playing a doubleheader Thursday and Friday. I've got my dates mixed up. I can't even say my words right. I've got everything mixed up after this long road trip here.
The funny thing is I say mixed up too, and I want to say mix and mess. And speaking of mess-ups, if you will, first base coach Jeremy Katz is now at third base, and coaching first base is relief pitcher Dylan Chisholm.
Chisholm pitched last night as the count runs to 1-1 on the swing and miss by Linehan. The pitcher in there right now for the Northwest Boom is Chris Flores, who came on in relief of Basamonte in the last inning.
He gave up a double, walked a batter, and lucked into a little bit of runner's interference there. So while not on his best stuff, he did get himself a double play and out of a jam that could have seen a lot more runs from the Collegians.
That interference, as the 2-1 is thrown by Flores, almost hits me, and it's 3-1. Cost Matt Senna his entry into the gate as he was ejected by the official out at second base. That is why Jeremy Katz is now coaching third in the manager tonight. Collegians did score 5 in that inning and lead 6-2. Flores from the windup on the right side. He's wearing a black and yellow mitt. His pitch on a two-seam fastball misses outside. De Niro tried to frame it, couldn't do so. And that starts the Collegians' fourth with a leadoff walk, meaning their leadoff man has gotten on in every single frame.
Andrew Meadows may possibly be the dirtiest Collegian that we've seen so far this year, mainly due to the quality of the dirt here at the field. It's very soft and dry, and it is practically covering the entire backside of Meadows, who slashes this ball down the left field line, just foul on the first pitch from Flores.
So it'll be one strike on Meadows, who squints a bit, changes his face, and as you said, Patrick, I think his uniform does need a wash.
A little behind the scenes, the starting pitcher for the Collegians gets to choose the outfit, and one of the reasons that the Collegians are wearing the road gray pants is because the white pants they've been wearing for the past 2 days have been all but sullied.
Flores' second pitch to Meadows is a ball that misses on a breaking ball. The reason Meadows' jersey is especially jersey, despite not even playing in the field tonight, is because he had a stolen base in the last inning, which led the Collegians' rally.
As well as his score from first base, in which he slid home.
Meadows on 1-1, watches a fastball at the knees, didn't like that pitch. He'll have to try again. 1-2. Danny David Linehan, the runner on first. He reached via a walk just minutes ago. Normal size lead there, not appearing to try to be aggressive on the base paths. Flores looks over his shoulder, then fires. This ball bounced right in front of the plate and then foul from Meadows. One, two again to Meadows. Flores looks in for his sign, gets the okay to throw from the home plate umpire. Meadows waves his bat a few times, getting ready in his stance. Linehan fakes like he's going on the pitch, decides against it, and Meadows fouls it off against De Niro's leg. I don't know if Danny David at first just got a bad jump or if that was the fake steal, but he's still at first after the foul ball. Linehan goes back on a pickoff attempt from Flores, and still 1-2 on the extra hitter tonight, Andrew Meadows. Flores comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Linehan takes off, curveball down low. Linehan on the play is safe at second as Meadows strikes out. brings up the leadoff hitter, Nico Nincy, who is 2 for 2 in this game. If you go back to last night's game, Nico Nincy is riding a little bit of a hot streak here, as he is 3 for his last 3 at the plate. Nincy, the left-handed batter, playing center field. Facing the pitcher, Flores. The right-hander deals. It's a fastball up high and misses wide.
If we go back even a little bit further to the first game of play here in Tucson, Nico Nincy is hitting an even 600 in Arizona, as he is 6 for 10.
Nincy, the left-handed batter, on the 1-0 pitch. He drives this one into the right center gap. Coming home is Linhan. Nincy towards second. He's still got some room to run. He's headed for third. That's his second triple of the night. An RBI triple for Nico Nincy, who is on fire for the Boulder Collegians. They lead 7-2.
What looked like it was going to be a simple line drive just over the head of the second baseman turned into a triple, as Nincy, coming around first base, saw that the center fielder had yet to get to it and just picked up his speed, getting in safely to third base rather easily.
For whatever reason, Bustamante had some trouble out there in center catching up to that ball, as it took a good hop in the Collegians' favor. The grass is trimmed pretty nice, so I could have seen that ball skipping out there in the grass. First pitch to Addison Kosh, the shortstop, is a strike, a fastball inside, and Flores back for his second pitch with Nincy on third. A curveball blocked in the dirt by De Niro, the catcher.
And for the third time in as many days here in Arizona, the Collegians have themselves a triple from their leadoff hitter. As you mentioned, make that 2 tonight for Nincy.
Flores on 1-1 into his windup, kicks and deals, and it's a fastball that goes low.
Coming into this game, Nincy had not had an extra base hit. He keeps things simple. He knows what's happening on each and every pitch, where he wants to put the ball, where he wants to place it, and doesn't really worry about those extra bases.
Flores' 2-1 pitch is hit towards second base by Kosh, and it'll be fielded cleanly by the second baseman, Benavides, thrown on to Almonte, and it is an RBI groundout for the Collegians, who take an 8-2 lead here in the fourth inning.
Excellent piece of hitting by Kosh, going with the ball, taking it to the right side, allowing Nincy to score easily for what is the 7th run of the game for the Collegians.
Bryce Bullock, who's 0 for 2 to the plate here in the fourth inning. First pitch is a ball outside. 2 outs here in the fourth. Collegians leading 7-2, have scored twice in this fourth inning. The reliever Flores in, the second pitcher of the night for the Boom. Into his windup, kicks and deals, and it's a fastball that's fouled off by Bullock. 1-1 on Bryce Bullock. He's got a red sleeve on his right arm. Thankfully for Bryce, didn't need to purchase another sleeve, as that matches his UNLV uniform. He plays college ball out in Las Vegas. Gets frequented by Bryce Harper even sometimes in Vegas. Bryce Bullock will sit and wait on a curveball, and it's now 2-1.
You mentioned Greg Maddox earlier this evening. Let's mention him again, as his son attends UNLV, and he often serves as the pitching coach for the Runnin' Rebels.
Bryce says he's even learned a lot about baseball despite not being a pitcher from Greg Maddox. This pitch misses outside from Flores, and Bullock having a nice patient at bat.
Let's go, pretty boy!
8-2 here in the top of the fourth inning. Collegians lead the Boom.
Bryce Bullock on this pitch watches, and he takes a walk.
And what would seem like a borderline pitch, Bullock rather confidently jotted down the first baseline once the catcher caught it, as he knew that this was not a strike, and Rod Allen confirmed that with his ball four call.
Nothing to lose there if you're Bullock. He wasn't going to swing and hit that pitch either way. Wasn't in his happy zone at 3-1, so it was either walk or take a strike and live to see 3-2. Gets a big lead off of first here, swinging his right arm, maybe ready to go. He's got some wheels. First pitch fouled off of Rod Allen, and we'll check to see if the home plate umpire's okay. Brett Bonar, the catcher of the Collegians, really caught him hard there, and the catcher De Niro will come out and visit his pitcher Flores.
Boom manager Ruben Lerma also checks in on Rod Allen, as you said, chief, one of the veteran umpires here in the Sun Belt College Baseball League. Bonar and Brady Mitchell, Barton Community College teammates, confer a little bit and talk about what to expect next from the righty Flores.
Allen gives the ready to go, and it seems we are set back for play here in Tucson. Collegians leading 8-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Runner on first is Bullock. Bonar at the plate with an 0-1 count. Mitchell on deck. Manager Matt Senna was ejected in the game in the 3rd inning. Bonar set from this pitch from Flores, and he misses outside, and it's now 2-0. Or sorry, 1-1. Obviously, that foul ball clipped our friend, the umpire, tonight. Bonar, with an open batting stance, lifts his hands very high above his shoulders, and he grounds this one towards the second baseman. Benavides throws on to first, and that's the 3rd out of the 4th inning. Collegians leading 8-2. We'll pick it up in the bottom of the 4th when we come back in just a minute.
Rod, how you doing, all right? Yeah. Thank you. Did that get the catcher first or no? Oh my God. How many fingers am I holding up?
You don't have any.
Correct. All right, you're good.
Collegians ahead 8-2 here in the desert. Now a brisk inning of work. His parents came all the way down from Louisville, Colorado to see this start. And Milano has been very solid for the Collegians. Into his windup, the righty deals, and this is a foul ball that kicks right back above us. Milano facing the catcher, De Niro. De Niro on the evening is 0 for 1 with a pop-up to the second baseman, Bullock. That led off the second inning. Leading off the 4th now, and he is up 1-1 on a tied count, I guess. One and one from Milano. It's a curveball that didn't break under the chest. Collegians wanted a strike in the dugout, and it was just a bit high as ruled by the umpire. Milano on a two-seam fastball. This one's fouled towards the Collegians' dugout, and now it's 2-2. Jeremy Katz, the manager now, or the acting manager rather, for the Collegians. Milano on 2-2 with no outs in the fourth. This is a curveball that never got back towards the strike zone, almost hit De Niro.
Hey, yes you can. You're the guy. Do it.
No strikeouts since the second inning. The third inning, he got all outs via the hard way, and now he's looking for a strikeout on 3-2. De Niro slaps this one foul.
Pitch right there. Repeat it.
Not sure who we'll see first for the Collegians, as the bullpen is out of our view, but we could see Musso as well as Massa tonight.
3-2 again. This one fouled straight, or flied straight up. Every infielder in on this, and Cash will call off the rest of his teammates and call the out.
My teammate. Good job.
Milano will now face first baseman number 13, Sean Bracamonte, who homered to left field here in the second inning. Let's see the approach that Milano and Bonar take here against the power-hitting first baseman.
First pitch from Milano is an off-speed pitch that misses towards the outside. Bracamonte, big homer as you mentioned in this game. He sees a strike and it's 1-1. Milano didn't like where he threw that pitch, but he got away with it anyway. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Curveball there on 1-1. Goes for a strike as Bracamonte swings through it, and it's 1-2.
Nice pitch selection. Spiked curve, fastball, and spiked curve got him to chase.
1-2, curveball misses high. Milano with 4 strikeouts on the afternoon. Looking for 5. Brett Bonar gives him the sign. Milano into the windup, kicks and deals, and this one slapped into left field, and it is caught by the left fielder, Marcus Altman.
Altman should have a much easier time in left field than last night. David Neal mentioned the difficulty he had on that double that seemed as if he had erred before he cut down the runner at third base. A sprinkler head had been going off, making all of left field rather slippery for both teams out on defense.
2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Benavides, the second baseman, stepping in. First pitch fastball on the outside. Jeremy Katz yelled in from the dugout, great pitch, and it indeed was, as it hit his spot on the outside to Bonar's target. The 0-1 pitch right back to Benavides is a fastball that misses inside. They thought it was a strike in the dugout. I can confirm that it was a good call, but it was a great pitch. Benavides reached via a hit by a pitch, was stranded on first, in his first plate appearance. This one slapped out to center. Easy running play there by Nico Nitze, and that gets the Collegians out of the fourth. 8-2, Boulder leading Tucson here in Arizona when we come back for the top of the fifth.
Comes a switch here. So I've seen that walk before. That we've got somebody change. This is guy by the way. Yeah.
They're doing great. They're hustling. So number 32 is going in for 23. 32 going for 23
For the DH.
Correct. So because DH has pitchers.
Right.
Now we're bringing.
So let's get that 32 for 23. Okay. Okay.
And now on the mound we're bringing in 15 coming to the mound.
15 to the mound. Oh, okay. So we already switched to 32.
Correct.
Hey, Mitch. We want changes or no? You want their changes? No, we're good. No.
I got you, baby.
Sorry about it. Sorry, sir. We don't have it together in here, sir.
We come back.
Play baseball. Let's go. Here we go.
Now pitching for the Northwest Boom is number 15, former left fielder Winston Welch. Because the DH Chris Flores came into pitch in relief this past inning, the DH was lifted, and in his place was number 32, Sherrick Sanborn, who goes out to left field. The first pitch to Mitchell is swung on for strike one.
Collegians ahead 8-2 here in the top of the fifth. They scored 2 runs in the last inning on 1 hit and 5 runs in the third inning on 3 hits. Mitchell takes a ball, and the Collegians also scored a run in the second inning on 1 hit, so the Collegians have scored in 3 consecutive innings as we head to the fifth here. Welsh, the righty, bigger righty, and Mitchell spits on this pitch towards right center. The right fielder coming on, Padilla, makes the catch.
Chris Flores, in his 1 2/3 innings of work, gives up 1 hit, 2 runs, walks 3, and strikes out 1.
Now batting for the Collegians is Mark Taylor, the DH tonight. And Mark Taylor has reached twice, once via a walk, another time on a double. First pitch is off speed, and it goes in there for a strike. Taylor takes there, and it's a strike at the knees on a fastball, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch bounced towards the second baseman. 3 hops and over towards the first baseman. Benavides makes the play, and 2 outs in the top half of the fifth for the Collegians. Gioso playing first tonight. DH last night, seems to get into a better rhythm when he is playing out in the field and batting. He has struck out and walked, and Gioso maybe with a big swing here now that there's 2 outs and nobody on. That big swing fouled off of the catcher, De Niro, and De Niro appears okay. Gioso will give him some time.
Collegians with 1 run in the top of the second, 5 in the top of the third, and 2 in the fourth to give them the 8-2 lead here in the top of the fifth. Home plate umpire Rod Allen cleans off the plate. Gioso meanders down to talk with his third base coach as they give De Niro an opportunity to catch his breath and shake out the cobwebs. We're all back in play. Gioso in the box.
Gioso with 1 strike on him. That one bounces in the dirt. Gioso on 1-1, facing Winston Welsh, the second reliever for the Northwest Boom. Darker glove unveils the ball from it, and it's a strike on a fastball lower in the zone. 1-2. The Boom have a chance to go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. Welch into the windup now. Strike 3. 1-2-3 go the Boom in the top of the fifth. And we go to the bottom half with the Collegians leading here 8-2.
Ball.
Back for the bottom half of the fifth inning, where Joe Milano, the local kid, is still out there for the Boulder Collegians. They lead 8-2. Pearson pitchers for the Boom are running poles out in the outfield. Rarely see that, but we are today. Nick Clausen getting warm for the Collegians in the bullpen. If Milano gets into any trouble, he starts this inning with a fastball that's fouled back by
Sherrick Sanborn, number 32, the new left fielder.
Milano could be the first Collegian to go 5 innings this year. No one has done it yet. A couple guys have gotten close. Milano with a sweet curveball that does not drop in for a strike. You actually could hear the breeze on that curveball as the seams were moving that quickly. I finally fixed our shotgun mic here, Patrick, and you're hearing some better sounds. Another curveball, that one caught by Bonner, but, just a bit high.
By fix the microphone, do you mean you told the guys to not say anything inappropriate?
Milano's 2-1 pitch, two-seam fastball on the outside. That's a strike. Milano with some prep in his step now. That one goes in. I said that, and I also fixed the one that's right next to us. I was scared that one was a bit off, and Milano's pitch, and that one misses high. It's a full count. Milano looking for his 5th strikeout right here, facing Sherrick Sanborn.
Get the runners off.
And the official is telling the runners to stop running poles.
Certainly that's a common practice you might see in Arizona during spring training, but as these are amateur players, and safety is most certainly a concern.
Milano's 3-2 pitch, looking for his 5th strikeout into the windup. And that's a fastball fouled off behind the first base bag.
Might have enough to get onto field number 7. We've actually had 2 occurrences of foul balls coming from another field fly onto ours.
Almost hit us one time. We're wearing headphones. We didn't get the heads up. 3-2 from Milano. Strike 3 on the breaking ball. Joe Milano's got 5, and that one caught Sandborg looking.
Absolute beautiful spiked curved by the Dodge City pitcher. As you mentioned, his 5th on the day, and has only walked 1 batter. We saw that early in the first. He's commanded his control much more nicely here.
Milano, a nice fastball there, starts off with a strike. And the Collegians leading 8-2, Milano starting to cruise. Curveball goes for a strike, and that's 0-2 already on the center fielder, Bustamante. Right back to the mound, into the windup. This one a curveball that had to be blocked by the big catcher, Brett Bonar. 1-2 count. Milano into a rhythm now in the windup. A curveball, swinging, strike 3. Bonar over to first. They make the play, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. 6th strikeout for Joe Milano.
Nice relaxed toss by Bonar over to first baseman Gioso.
Brings up Porter, the shortstop. He is flown out to the center fielder and singled and scored a run in this game. Milano with a chance to get through 5, like we just said, be the best start of the Collegians' year thus far through the 7th game. Starts with a fastball on the inside for a strike, and Milano just painting the strike zone now here all of a sudden. Right back into the lineup. He kicks and fires. That's a breaking ball on the inside for a strike, and quickly ahead 0-2, Joe Milano in a groove. Milano in the windup, the righty against the left-handed hitting Porter. Milano kicks and fires. That one misses outside. Milano takes a breath, gets back onto the mound, gets his sign from Bonar, who he's working beautifully with. Into the windup, kicks and deals. Strike 3, that's 7 for Joe Milano. Collegians lead 8-2 after 5. Joe Milano pitching a gem here in Tucson, Arizona.
Yep. I'll take him out after that.
You got more? Come on, this side here. Sir, we got some more.
Number 9 going into 20.
Ruben, he's going to second base?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back here for the top of the 6th, Collegians leading 8-2, and the Northwest Boom reliever Welsh out there for his second inning of work. First pitch of the inning is swung on and hit to center field by Altman. Under it is the Boom's center fielder, Bustamante, who makes a rather easy catch on the first pitch.
Defensive replacement there between innings by manager Ruben Lerma. He brings in number 9, Paulo Rodriguez, in for Braden Benavidez, and he will hit in the 9 hole.
Danny David Linehan, the third baseman, in there now. Pitcher in the windup deals a fastball that's a bit low, and Welsh gets the ball back and wants it again. Danny David Linehan steps out of the box, taps the plate, ready to go. No sign from Katz, the acting manager now, and this one, a dirt ball that bounces and almost hits Patrick's laptop, but thankfully there is a mesh netting between us and the catcher. What's up, Cruz? Roger Cruz wanted to be on the broadcast, gave us a little wave. Fan said, "What's up, Cruz?"
What's up to his mom and dad watching at home?
Ball high there, and it's 2-0, or 3-0, sorry, on Danny David Linehan.
Winston Welch looking nice here in the early going. It's his first time pitching, we hear, in about 2 years.
Welsh, a fastball, and that one misses somewhere. I didn't quite see where, and it ends up with a walk for Danny David Linehan and 1 out.
Fastball hung just a bit high, a little bit up and inside on the right-handed hitting Linehan. That'll bring the extra hitter, Andrew Meadows, up to the plate.
Winston Welsh now in the stretch. First time, went 1-2-3, got the first 4 outs once coming in, and Danny David Linehan gets his lead. First pitch is a fastball outside. Meadows faked a bunt. Only a 6-run lead here for the Collegians, and I say only because the ball can fly here in Tucson. And the Collegians were talking about before the game that they had heard a rumor that the Boom can smash the baseball. This is a fastball that is outside, and Meadows sits and waits on it, 2-0. Danny David, no sign there, looking over to Katz. Katz deep past third base, infield playing straight up the middle. They're looking for the double play. And Meadows swings through a fastball high in the zone, and that goes for strike 1. Collegians dugout, active tonight. They're having fun on this road trip. 8-2 lead certainly helps. Top of the 6th inning. And that one fouled off by Meadows. It's 2-2 with 1 out. Linehan, the runner, on first. Winston Welsh, his 2-2 pitch as he comes set, and this one fouled back, making sure it didn't hit us or our equipment.
Well, when I looked up, I thought I had seen a ball, but in fact, it looks to be two different types of bats flying around in the air, catching up some of the mosquitoes and bugs that we have here at Keno Veterans Memorial Baseball Complex.
2-2, Winston Welsh comes set, and Meadows at the plate. Catcher gets the inside corner, and Meadows swings through a fastball right in the spot, and Welsh sets him down. 2 outs now, the Boom have recorded in the top half of the 6th.
Right now, Boom manager Ruben Lerma is speaking and conferring with the home plate umpire about the fact that Collegians manager Matt Senna can be seen somewhere with the naked eye out in right field. Don't believe he is on the field itself, but there appears to be possibly a opening in the fence. Allen's conferring with his partner about what they could do, what they should do. Not sure if it's that important of an issue, but
we're somewhat certain that the Collegians manager Matt Senna is watching this broadcast, and the dugout with a faint hissing sound right now on the first base side. Devin Elson, one of the pitchers for the Collegians, comes over, and some of the veterans for the Collegians in on this conversation. Nico Nincy there as well, talking to the home plate umpire Rod Allen. Seems the bullpen wants to get in on this conversation too, as some of the bullpen members jog down as well. General manager Matt Jensen not here anymore. What's weird is Jeremy Katz has just been informed of this. They didn't go to Katz initially, and it looks like we're in a delay.
Worried about that? Wow.
All right, hey, we got to put up like a 5-spot now.
the veteran Nincy talking with the base umpire Ray Encinas about this, taking that leadership role. He spoke about with me a lot last night. There's no true leaders here on the team just yet, but as a veteran player who has played with the Sterling Express here in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, and a guy who has led off and has hit at the top of the lineup for the Collegians, particularly last night after his two-run single, game-winning two-run single. He made sure to share the wealth and talk about the fact that his teammate Addison Kosh was on base, and if it were not for him, Nincy wouldn't have been in that spot, and if it were not for the relievers to keep the game close, he would have not been in that position. So although he was praised by GM Matt Jensen, Nincy was quick to share the wealth after the game and give some praise to his fellow teammates.
With this delay, the pitcher Winston Welsh is now throwing with the third baseman. Players kind of just all around the field not knowing what to do.
Looks like we might be getting close to action. Nincy.
We are. Nico Nincy steps back into the batter's box. Runner on first here with one out, or two outs rather, and the runner on first is Danny David Linehan. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The lead is 8-2. Nico Nincy watches a fastball on the outside that goes for a strike. Winston Welsh, the second reliever for the Northwest Boom. That delay came because there was a question about the ejected manager Matt Senza, and where he is standing, which was outside the complex, but not far enough indeed. Nincy swings through this one, trying to keep up his hot streak. He's 4 of his last 4 going into last night. 3 for 3 on the night so far. He's got 2 triples and a single. He's down 0-2 right now to Winston Welsh. Nincy, the left-handed batter, playing center field. Catcher sets up outside, and that's a pitch that misses inside. And David Linehan walks up to second. Patrick, what happened there?
He literally slow jogged to second base thinking it was ball 4. I don't know if he realized yet that it was not. He now is asking the second plate umpire for the count, but he tucked his head down and jogged, and the general gets away with one.
So that'll go as a wild pitch, and it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs to Nico Nitze. Nitze on an outside pitch, sprays it to left field. Runner coming in is David Linehan. He'll score. Nico Nitze with another RBI hit. He's 5 of his last 5 at the plate. Collegians lead 9-2 here in the top of the 6th.
And sometimes luck is a residue of design. Linehan doing a great job in his at-bat here in the 6th, draws the walk and manages his way down to second base on that wild pitch, and Nitze strikes again for his 3rd RBI of the game.
Nico did a great job on that 2-strike pitch to take it opposite field, and again the good patient at-bats from the Collegians paying off as the first pitch of this at-bat by Addison Kosh is fouled off above the first base dugout.
That gives Nitze 5 RBIs in his last 5 at-bats. 6 RBIs in total between the past 2 games, and he is now 8 for 12 on the Tucson trip.
Nico Nitze really turning it on. Kosh, the shortstop, watches a curveball in the dirt, and the count evens at 1-1. One pitch from Winston Welsh in the stretch. Comes set. Checks the runner over his shoulder. Nitze takes off for second. He'll get there easily. No throw there by the catcher, De Niro.
That's Nitze's 2nd stolen base of the season, to go along with several opportune wild pitches that he's moved up on. He's been rather cool here in Arizona. Speaking of cool, the temperature is now just 95 degrees.
The 1-2 pitch is sprayed towards the shortstop. Nitze waits for it to go through and then advances to third. And Addison Kosh is finally on the board today. He's got a single, and he's 1 for 4.
Catcher Dante De Niro asks home plate umpire for time as he goes out to talk to his young pitcher, Winston Welch.
Bryce Bullock, the batter now. He's 0 for 2 in the game with a walk. Has gotten cold the last few games. We talked about it last night, Bryce and I, and just being patient and waiting out this cold streak and knowing that eventually things will change. Bryce having that conversation with me, full well saying, short memory in baseball sometimes is the best way to have a memory, i.e. not having a memory is sometimes better than having a memory. And that's the approach the young Bryce Bullock is working on, just forgetting about the past the last few days and focusing on an at-bat at a time.
Yeah, it's both a gift and a curse for a lot of these college players who say that playing baseball every day can be a grind, but it can also be a gift in getting that new opportunity each and every day to make a difference, make a change, and help out their team.
2 outs. The runner on first is Cash. The runner on third is Nitze. The Collegians have plated 1 in this inning, and it's 9-2 in the top of the 6th. Bullock fouls off the first pitch of the at-bat.
With 4 games in progress here in the quad, we've got baseballs and bats and family members flying all over the place. It's quite the spot to be here on a Tuesday night in Tucson.
As my Uncle Eddie used to say, that scared me, people are throwing people. Bryce Bullock on 0-1, and he swings at this pitch. Pass ball by the catcher. Nitze will stay at third. Cash moves up to second, and now there are 2 on in scoring position for Bullock with 2 outs in an 0-2 count.
Do something cool.
I like that encouraging message from, I believe, Cruz in the dugout there of the Collegians, which was, quote, do something cool.
Hard to do with the temperature being 95 degrees. And time called again by catcher Dante De Niro. Big pitch here in the at-bat to Bullock, wanting to make sure that the boom does not go down and behind even further to get their pitches worked out.
Bullock, the right-handed batter. Collegians ahead 7 with 2 on in scoring position. 0-2 count from the third pitcher of the night for the Northwest Boom. The righty winds up and will deal. Winston Welsh delivers a ball, and it's 1-2 on Bryce Bullock. The second baseman has had a great fielding start to his summer season in this, the 7th game. The Collegians 6-0, and they have been very happy to be 6-0. 1-2 to Bryce Bullock, and this one sprayed over the first base coach,
Dylan
Chisholm's head. And I'm looking over there, and he does indeed have a helmet on, and thankfully, because that was close to hitting his noggin.
He's got shorts on, white ankle socks, and white sneakers. I thought we might see several different relief pitchers out there coaching first base, but it's been Chisholm all night since Senna's ejection.
The 1-2 pitch to Bryce Bullock from Winston Welsh. A curveball that is too low. Bullock did a good job of holding up and not chasing. You mentioned the outfit of Dylan Chisholm and Jordan Kyle employing that same strategy of I pitched yesterday, I'm not going to pitch today. There's no point in dressing up in a baseball uniform for this baseball game. Time called at home plate, and we'll reset for this 2-2 pitch. 2 runners on, 7-run lead for the Collegians in the top of the 6th here in Tucson. Welsh delivers. Bullock smashes this one high down the left field line. That's going to get up and get out! Bryce Bullock with a 3-run home run, his second 3-run shot of the year, and the Collegians take a 12-2 lead.
Well, altitude is not a factor here at Keno Sports Memorial Baseball Contest, but Bullock did absolutely get underneath that one, hit it to the same spot as Boom first baseman Sean Bracamonte, and that 3-run homer puts this game even further out of reach.
I didn't know if that was going to get out because it was hit so high. It was like that moment in Major League, Patrick, when you're going too high. Who cares? It's gone. I thought it was a bit too high. Brett Bonar watches a first pitch ball here from Winston Welsh, who's having some trouble in the 6th inning. Bonar then fouls off a pitch, and it's 1-1. You know, Patrick, Winston Welsh had a chance to get out of that inning with limited damage, had 2 strikes, an 0-2 count on Bryce Bullock, who fought off and had a great at-bat, then takes a pitch down the line on 2-2 to hit that home run, showing his power ability as well as his plate discipline both in that at-bat. Pitch misses outside, 2-1.
I think that's where you see the inexperience of Welch, having not pitched for so long, not being confident in his pitches, and that made all the difference for a veteran hitter like Bryce Bullock.
Bryce, one of the younger guys on this team, as Brett Bonar watches a pitch on the outside that goes for a strike. It's 2-2 now with 2 outs.
The left-handed hitting Bonar with that open stance, reminiscent a little bit of Jorge Posada when he would hit from the left-hand side.
2-2, and that pitch misses. Bonar takes the ball. It's 3-2. Bonar has reached safely once via a walk. He ended up scoring in that 3rd inning. It's 12-2 Collegians, who have just blown the game open on the Bryce Bullock 3-run shot. This one fouled back by Bonar and comes back and hits him in the shoulder because of the backstop is so close to the plate. Bonar's done a terrific job behind the plate. It does appear that Mark Ulart's going to come in and catch the bottom half of the 6th. It's almost a blessing, but a problem for the Collegians. They've got 2 great catchers in Golart and Bonar. The full count pitch to Bonar, and this one smashed down the 3rd base line. Very high, ranging back is Diaz, and he'll reach up and make the play. That will end this, the top of the 6th. The Collegians now ahead 12-2 on a 3-run home run by Bryce Bullock.
What do you got for a score here? 5th, right?
What is it?
12-2.
12-2.
We got Ben. Here, let's get. We got
10-14.
and then be careful here.
We got a new pitcher. Hey, what's your number?
10 for 14.
Austin, what's your number?
15. And then put
10 for 15. 10 for
14.
4 because you don't have a 50.
Yeah, 14.
Okay.
Yep, and then we put we got Neil number 20 in for
20 for 22.
here's that for you.
Neil and left, Gular behind the plate. Boston on the mound. Neil.
Wow!
Boston on the mound, Gular behind the plate. Bottom six.
It's a good you're on these lines because there's coaches. Sometimes don't even have numbers down. That's what I've heard. Yeah, after 7.
Hey, ball's in, second base on 2.
6.5, 6.5, 7.
Some changes for the Boulder Collegians as Nick Clausen takes the mound in this 12-2 game. Collegians now just 6 outs away from winning the 10-run rule. Dave Neal comes on and plays left field for Marcus Altman, as well as Mark Goulart, who makes that change for Brett Bonar behind the dish. That closes out the line, though, on Joe Milano, who is nothing short of terrific.
He threw 5 strong innings to start the game, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts, the most we've seen so far from a Collegian starting pitcher, or any pitcher for that matter.
First pitch by Clausen is fouled off.
Clausen, a potential walk-on at the University of Texas. He played this past spring at Temple College in Texas.
Clausen's second pitch misses, and it's 1-1. Clausen, the lefty, winds and deals. It's a curveball, backdoors into the strike zone. An absolute beauty from Nick Clausen, and the count runs to 1-2 in his favor.
We're going to see a 2-seam fastball, curveball slider, and a split change from the lefty.
And Goulart with the frame job there, wanted the outside fastball, a 2-seamer to go for a strike. He told us the other day he likes to steal strikes on the outside with his 2-seam pitch. 2-2. Curveball breaks back into the zone. Going back is Mitchell in right. He'll make an easy one-handed catch, and the Collegians have their first out of the bottom of the 6th.
One down, 2-1, one down.
Felix, the extra hitter, on for the Northwest Boom. He has gotten out twice in both of his at-bats, and a strikeout and a line out to the third baseman, Danny David Lindholm. First pitch from Clausen is a bit wild. Patrick is jumping out of the way. We keep forgetting there's a fence between us and the ball players tonight because our angle is so good. And Clausen back to the mound.
To be fair, I looked at my computer screen for a second, and right out of the corner of my eye, I saw that curveball hit the dirt and nearly hit me in the face.
Clausen, second pitch, and that's a strike. It's 1-1. Clausen's doing a great job of arm side command for the lefty, outside on the right-handed batters, inside on the lefties. You already see him establishing that part of the plate. The 1-1 pitch from Clausen in the windup, kicks and deals a curveball, lets out an exasperated yelp after the pitch because he just did not finish it the way he would like.
He's working fast, very similar to Milano. And the one thing that's going to benefit the Collegians throughout this year is the fact that they can go righty and lefty on a night in, night out basis.
Clausen with a beautiful curveball on the 2-1 pitch to make it 2-2. Broke clear across the plate and caught the inside part. And now, with an even count against Felix, he has a chance for a strikeout. Clausen winds and deals a curveball that bounces low. And Mark Goulart makes a nice stop to help out the umpire. Full count, Nick Clausen against Felix, the extra hitter. Clausen into his windup, kicks and deals. It's a fastball on the inside, gets Felix swinging, and that's the second out of this, the bottom of the 6th inning. Collegians ahead 12-2 after Bryce Bullock led the Collegians with a 3-run home run last inning. They plated 4 in that inning. They plated 5 in the 3rd. They've actually scored in every inning but the 5th since the 2nd inning, and that's the direct opposite of last night as Clausen's first pitch against his 3rd batter is inside. Great command once again of that part of the plate. They did not have a hit from the 2nd to the 8th inning. Tonight, almost the direct opposite as they have gone hot in the middle portions of this game. Clausen on the 1-0 curveball that does not catch the strike zone, and it's 2-0. Clausen against the right fielder, Padilla. Padilla with an open stance, left on left. Clausen on the 2-0 pitch deals a curveball that never got to the strike zone, and it's now 3-0. 2-out walks, a thing that every pitcher dreads. We'll see if Nick Clausen throws the auto strike down the middle here in a 10-run game, and he misses. It's a 2-out walk as Padilla will reach first.
Padilla having some nice at-bats tonight. He singled in the 1st. He reached on that error by Bullock and draws the walk.
And the now pitcher who started in left field, Winston Welsh, comes to the plate. Right-hander, stocky. He's got a big body, and I'm sure his bat carries some power in it. He has flown out to the right fielder on a rather powerful swing. It is 340 down the lines and 403 to center here. The righty against the lefty Clausen, who comes from the stretch and fires a fastball down the middle, swung on and missed by Welch. The runner on first, Padilla. Third base coach shaking his head yes at Padilla, not sure what that sign means. Gioso holding him on. Clausen comes set, looks at the runner, then throws. It's a two-seam fastball on the inside that bounces foul, fielded by Linham.
So Jake, did you pick up their hit and run sign there on that inadvertently?
Possibly. If it's just a shaking the head yes, then that's their hit and run sign. I'm sure it's more complex than that. You know, there are several Rockies whose hit and run signs I know I won't expose, but if you watch enough Rockies baseball or that of any team, you can pick up a certain player's hit and run sign. This pitch is bounced foul, and Clausen ahead 1-2 here after the 2-out walk. Clausen with a strikeout already in this inning of Felix. The Collegians leading 12-2. He's seeking another strikeout. Goulart, the catcher, gives the sign. Clausen looks in, comes set, checks the runner at first. Gioso holding him on. Clausen checks one more time, and then he delivers. It's a curveball, bounces out in front of the plate, blocked by Goulart, and the runner, Padilla, holds at first. That bounced about 4 feet out in front of the plate. And it is 1-2. I guess they're saying that hit the bat and that was a foul ball. Interesting. Everyone at the plate seems to know what happened, but no one else does. Clausen comes set, delivers with 2 outs, and that is a curveball. Home plate umpire Rod Allen flinched, did not call the strike, and a couple Collegians walked off the field. He gives Goulart a tap on the back, and it's now 2-2. 12-2 game should do no harm. Runner on first is Padilla. Clausen will check on him after coming set, but first he dropped the ball, and that is a balk. First balk we've seen of the year for the Collegians. Shouldn't matter, but how quickly these things can spiral sometimes.
And you can hear the chatter on the field and in the dugout. Hey, do not worry about that. Get the batter. There are 2 outs. Clausen at the waist. Let's see if he goes back to that nasty curveball.
Hunting another strikeout on 2-2. This is a fastball two-seamer fouled out of play over the first base line.
Last base ball, play.
Nobody holding the runner on. Padilla at second. Bullock a little play more up the middle, but not much. Clausen comes set on 2-2, looking for a strikeout, and he gets it. 2 strikeouts for Clausen in that inning. Collegians 3 outs away from going 3-0 on this Arizona trip. They lead 12-2. We'll be back for the top of the 7th. Played at Temple. I don't think so. I think we're
You hype it up? Probably did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I nailed it. Back for the top of the 7th here in Tucson, Arizona, where the Boulder Collegians lead 12-2. Stepping to the plate is the right fielder, Mitchell, and he'll face Winston Welsh, who's out there in his 4th inning of work, I believe. Is that right, Patrick?
This is his 3rd inning of work.
He's been out there so long because the Collegians have scored so many runs that I gave him an extra inning.
Won't be the first time this year, as we've seen the Collegians bat around quite a lot and get 9 hitters through as well.
Welch's second pitch is smashed into center by Mitchell. Going back is the center fielder. This one is up off the wall. Mitchell into second, and he'll stride in with a leadoff double here in the top of the 7th.
He's shaking his head no, possibly because he thought he got all of it, or maybe because he hit the ball about 402 feet and only ended up getting himself to second base.
We talked about it in the first game here in Tucson, but the entire batter's eye is in play, so no matter where he hit that off the batter's eye, it is still in play, so maybe at a different field that is a home run to straightaway center. Now stepping in for the Collegians is the DH, Taylor, and a curveball there buckles him, but it is a ball. Mark Taylor from Chico, California, goes to Chico State, one of the bigger schools in California. It's a D2. Plays baseball there. Keeps looking back at the broadcast as if we're having more fun than he. I don't think that is true.
A look around the league in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Yesterday there were 2 series, and the Black Bears won both of them against the Game Day Saints, 14-8 and 14-10. That'll put them up at 4-0 atop the Rocky Mountain Baseball League.
Mitchell at second. Taylor getting ready for the first pitch of his at-bat, and it's a foul ball behind us. I'm sorry, that was the second pitch, and it's 1-1.
Taylor has done a nice job on the Tucson trip so far, having gone 4 for 9 here in Arizona.
Welch reaching over his belt, gets his sign, checks on the runner, Mitchell at second, then delivers to Taylor. It's a curveball that just misses outside, and he'll be up 2-1, that being Taylor. Welch looking in for his sign, gets it from De Niro. Mitchell at second base, getting his lead off. It's a large one and fouled off the handle by Taylor, and he will want that swing back as it was coming towards his chest.
He actually just made a slight motion of trying to throw his hands at it, and before he had a chance to pull back and caught a piece of his bat. Gabe Gioso waits on deck.
Nobody actually in the on-deck circle for the Collegians right now, but makes sense with a left or right-handed batter and where the Collegians dugout is positioned. 2-2 from Winston Welch. A fastball inside, and that goes and runs the count full. Collegians dugout along the first base line, still very much into this game. Cheering and chanting for their boy, Mark Taylor from Chico. Full count pitch, a curveball will get Taylor down swinging.
That'll bring the first baseman, Gabe Gioso, to the plate after an incredibly hot start to his collegiate season. He's been struggling a bit to get in the rhythm here down in Arizona.
Gioso with 2 strikeouts on the night. The Collegians have struck out 5 times. The pitcher Welch has struck out 2 batters thus far since coming in, this being his 3rd inning of work. Collegians ahead 12-2 here, and this the top of the 7th. Tucson, Arizona trip. Collegians are 2-0 thus far on it, 3 outs away from another win via a 10-run rule here. First pitch from Welch is a strike in on Gioso. Collegians 6-0 on the year, seeking their 7th win, and they've got a doubleheader at home at Scott Carpenter Park on Thursday and another one on Friday. There are league games packed in there, and we'll have the broadcast for you as well. Mitchell on second, the runner for the Collegians. Started off with a leadoff double that went about 400 feet. Welch throws a curveball that bounces in, and that'll be a wild pitch that moves up Mitchell to third base. Collegian dugout urging on their starting first baseman.
Let's see if Gioso can just get a piece of one to the right side to get into RBI. That's a good way to start off a new streak or something promising at the plate.
Even a ground out here scores a run and inspires some confidence, I do believe. Gioso calls time, wants a better look at it. Will take a practice swing. Gioso's got the red wrist tape on both of his wrists. Black and white back. Gioso set on this pitch, and it's a fastball on the outside.
Being this up close and personal, we can see that on his bottom hand, his left hand, he does something where he curls in his index finger and gets his knuckle, his first knuckle, on the bat. And as the pitcher comes to the waist, he slowly releases it off.
Gioso spits on a curveball and will live to see another day. Two and 2 count here to Gabe Gioso. 1 out, runner on third is Mitchell. Collegians ahead 10. This a fastball that gets Gioso, a pretty one from Winston Welch. Gioso just got under that, was trying to lift it into the air for a sacrifice fly.
That'll bring number 20, left fielder Dave Neal to the plate. This will be his first at-bat as he got an early break to the day with Altman getting the start in left field.
Neal not too much a fan of the heat here in Arizona. Takes a first pitch ball. Got some help in the broadcast booth now as our clicker is being used by Devin Elson, the left-handed pitcher for the Collegians. started
Swamp Donkey
Sunday
sets
night's
up in the
game.
box. Wind up and pitch.
Welch throws this pitch, and it is fouled off by Neal.
He's frustrated with himself on the swing.
One of the Collegians is having fun with the mic right now. You hear in the background as someone has decided to do play-by-play. I think that's Danny David Linehan.
He was messing with the microphone before. He would be the last guy I would have guessed to be messing with that microphone.
1-1 pitch is a curveball outside, called for a strike. Neal didn't like the call, and on 1-2, he will try to get this runner home on the leadoff double. Could be the second time tonight the Collegians strand a leadoff extra base hit. Obviously have not had problems in the run department, though. 1-2 from Welch. Fastball swung through by Dave Neal, and that is strike 3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Collegians 3 outs away from winning this ball game, leading 12-2. No way.
Okay.
No way.
So we could play the opposing thing and
Is this thing off?
They close it out, 12. Second base.
Back for the bottom half of the 7th inning, where the Collegians lead 12-2 here in Tucson, Arizona. Just 3 outs away from starting their season 7-0 and going 3-0 on this Arizona trip. The quirkiest closer of the bunch for the Collegians steps in, and it's S.J. Musso. S.J., a native of Boulder from Fairview, Colorado, or Fairview High School, I should say, from Boulder, Colorado. S.J. in the windup throws a fastball on the inside, and that was really pretty from S.J. His teammates have lovingly called him Beans, as he looks like the character Beans from Even Stevens. S.J.'s funky windup in the second pitch as he kicks his heels is a curveball outside. S.J. reaches his glove above his hand, gets his sign into the windup, and deals a changeup in on the righty, and it's already 1-2. 7, 8, and 9 right here for the Boom. Batting right now is the catcher, De Niro. S.J. on a curveball. This one fouled off, and it's going to get out of play. De Niro 0 for 2 with 2 pop-outs to the middle infield tonight.
And I don't know if we got a chance to say it, but this Boom team has some fantastic last names, or fantastic names altogether. Dante De Niro here at the plate being one of them.
S.J. on 1-2 gets his sign from Goulart, steps off the mound, will reset, reaches above his head, and into the windup he goes. 1-2 from S.J., and that is a curveball, strike 3. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Gooley. Hey, one down, see the one down. Come on, Goo-Goo. Come on, Beans. Come on, Beans. Come back, S.J. Come on, Beans.
Goulart calls time. We'll go and meet with S.J. Allows me to get a quick question in here to Devin Elson, who's going to start Thursday. Devin, how do you feel you've pitched thus far this season?
I feel pretty good. The air's kind of different, so I'm kind of getting the curveball down to where it's a lot sharper of a break instead of a long loopy one. But so far it's been working. I'm excited to start on Thursday.
In Thursday night start here in Arizona. Not Thursday night, rather Sunday night start, as SJ's first pitch here is a strike on the inside, working really quick. Musso is right back to the rubber, set for his pitch. Musso facing off against the Booms first baseman, Bracamonte.
Bracamonte had a home run in his first at-bat in the bottom of the second, and God forbid he does the same thing again. We will continue to play.
And your start on Sunday, you seem like you would get it together for 3 or 4 batters at a time, then lose it, and then get it together. What is that a factor of, or is that just me seeing things and you don't feel the same way?
I think you're just seeing things, just trying to keep the game interesting for the guys. I mean, we're all having a lot of fun, so see how this season goes.
Musso's pitch is a curveball down in the zone, and SJ ahead. Another 2-strike count. Collegians may have found something here in Musso. 1 strike away from being 1 out away. Musso into the windup, throws a breaking ball on the outside. And rather hilariously, when he misses his spot, he jumps up with his back heel, flicks his heel like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. Musso into the windup, throws a pitch. It's a curveball. Strike 3. That's 2 Ks for Musso.
Musso is the 3rd consecutive pitcher at 6'5". Elson right here with us was the first. You saw Trenka yesterday. And here we got Musso, who looks in on the pitch from Bonar, standing tall with his glove to the top of his brim as he looks through at the sign.
The first pitch is a ball. Goulart back there calling the signs right now. You hear him calling Gooley in the dugout. They're trying to get Mark Goulart's attention. SJ is the 3rd in sequence of right, left, right tonight for the Collegians. And a beautiful off-speed pitch high in the zone. Gets a swing induced there, and it's 1-1. Beans, you could say, is mixing it up nicely here with this Boom team. Musso on 1-1. It's an off-speed pitch, smashed over to shortstop. Kosh makes a backhanded stop across the diamond. Collegians win. 12-2 on the play from Kosh over to Gioso, and the Collegians start their season 7-0. Great play there by Addison Kosh. Finishes a great night of baseball in Tucson, Arizona, and a great 4 for 4 at the plate. And how about that start by Joe?
5 innings of pitch, striking out 7. Clausen comes in, strikes out 2 in his inning of work. Musso comes in and strikes.
We're going to try and grab Joe Milano right now. Patrick, why don't you recap the game just a bit here while I go and grab him?
Well, the Collegians were off to a rough start in the first inning, could not score, and we were worried if they were going to have a bit of a drought, much like yesterday, but they answered with a run in the second, 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, 4 in the sixth. They did not take their foot off the gas pedal. That was something that we had been commenting on all along. Getting up early and then coasting. Well, they learned from their lesson in Game 1 here in Tucson, and they kept the ball rolling to win here tonight, 12-2 in 7 innings.
Now here with tonight's starting pitcher, Joe Milano, who had his stuff really working for the Collegians tonight. Joe, you're the first Collegians pitcher to go 5 innings this season thus far. What was working well for you?
My off-speeds were really working today, and throughout the game I just felt better and better each inning, and I kept pushing through. The more tired I got, I just pushed through it, and I started throwing better and better, and my arm just let loose, and it felt real good.
It seems like not only tonight, but in every game, the Collegians pitching has gotten stronger throughout the course of the game. Did you personally feel stronger as the game went along?
Yeah, I definitely felt a lot stronger as the game went on. Every inning, it felt like my arm was feeling better and better. That last inning felt like my arm felt the best it did the whole year, so it felt a lot better throughout the game.
And finally, your parents came all the way out here to watch this game, your start. How nice was it for you to see your parents right here behind home plate?
Oh, it was awesome. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to have them out here and support me, all kinds, so it felt really good.
For my partner, Patrick Lyons, I am Jake Shapiro. Collegians win here in Tucson, Arizona, 12-2. They go to 7-0 on the season. We will see you Thursday night for a doubleheader of Collegians baseball in Boulder, Colorado. See you then.